Okay, looks like we're rolling. So, back again, third episode for UKBC lockdown. Today we've got a UKBC admin, Lewis Yoxall. Thanks for joining.
No worries.
Yeah, plenty of requests to have you on. So, it'll be,
Don't know why.
Yeah, well, everyone must want to hear from you. So, but yeah, like started with Rich and started with Cam. I'll do the same. So if you want to give a brief introduction about yourself, talk about your foot in the door for skating, so to say.
Right, okay. My name is Lewis. I've been an admin for UKBC, mainly on the Facebook page, and monitoring the Instagram for about 3 years now. So the page is around, it's getting on maybe now 4 years, and I've been a part of it for free. I'm the second longest admin on the page, and I take care of the Instagram, and I do most of the events that we organise as well. So that's mostly me. We've done maybe 15 to 20 events throughout the last 3-4 years. So that's my main contribution.
So sorry about that. Sun's just popped right past the tree, and it's like just right in the glass. Still my head in.
I just figured I'd keep talking.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Yeah, so like you say, you've been doing the admin for 3 years now, and you're only 20 yourself now, aren't you?
It's just 21. It was my birthday on Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday. Saturday. Happy birthday.
No, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, still relatively young compared to a lot of people on UKBC. How do you find that? Do you feel, I don't know what the best word it would be, do you feel, I wouldn't say intimidated, but do you feel like there's quite a lot of pressure as a younger skater coming in with such an older skater demographic, so to speak?
Yeah, I think maybe not so much now, but when I first started doing it, there was definitely kind of like a feeling that I had something to kind of prove to people, like almost like coming into, even just as, I think Sam kind of felt the same as well, even though he's a bit older than me, but obviously rollerblade in the UK has been going on a lot longer than UKBC's been going.
Yeah.
There's all the OGs and things, and there's these big groups that have been established, and you know, people have got their respected OGs and things like that as well, and that kind of almost control the little scenes where you are. In a way. And I think when we came into it, it kind of felt like everyone was a bit like, oh, what's this? Like, what's this new thing they're trying to maybe come in and like say that they're like the new thing, like, you know? So there's a little pressure to kind of put across that we're in it like 100% for the love of it, and all we care about is, you know, pushing positive values and the growth of the sport. So that's what we've always been invested in.
Cool, man. I think that really comes across now, especially now that it's been established for a few years. It's kind of bedded into the UK scene now really nicely, and, you know, like the events and meets and stuff that have happened, especially over the past sort of 2 years, since the laid yin yang wheel and north and south event. I think that's made a real big difference in terms of what people's sort of perspective of UKBC was to what it is now. But yeah, no, I think you're doing a bang up job. Like, you know, can't, you know, hold you high enough for what you're doing and all the effort you've put in. But so in terms of like just referred to the meets there, obviously global situation as it is now, nothing's happening too soon. But what's the next steps? What, have you got anything in the pipeline or?
So before we went into the lockdown, we had an event on the way. It was going to be at the Boneyard. So obviously we kind of have ties to that now, and that's the thing when you're doing events as well, because we've already been in contact with the Boneyard, and obviously we've got the sponsors on board and everything like that. I've got half the prizes, so, you know, obviously they're sitting with me until the competition. And it'll just be a case of organising it for the next available date, and then we'll get it underway. But it should be the Boneyard, and we're going to do hopefully like an open comp Bladies comp, junior comp, and like an OG type thing as well, if we can make that happen. So really excited for that one.
Yeah, sounds good. And you know, rolling off that, you know, the events that have happened so far, how do you feel that they've gone? Like, I know personally how I feel they've gone, but from a personal perspective, how do you feel they've been well attended? Or
I feel like they've been okay. It's very hard to kind of judge how many people you're going to have in an event before it happens. Even through Facebook and things like that, you kind of have numbers on Facebook, but it's never really accurate. And it all comes down to the day and kind of just seeing who turns up and you know how it goes then. It's kind of weird because you have all these, like, in some cases, months of planning and organising and contacting all these sponsors and things, and then it all comes down to one day. And then on the day, it's usually a great time. Like every time I've run an event, I've really enjoyed. You know, it's always worth it. I've really enjoyed putting them on, and throughout the day you can just have fun as long as it's running smoothly, you know. So for me at least, it's been really positive. I've really enjoyed all of it.
Oh, good to hear. So stepping away from UKBC on a more personal level, I know we spoke just before we started recording that about the lockdown and the fact that you've just gone back to work. What else have you been up to trying to keep yourself sane?
Well, I've been skating a little bit. I've got my P-rail, and I tried to tap into YouTube a little bit and keep myself busy with that. So I've done 6 vlogs, I think it is now. I'm trying to keep them weekly. I've had a little break at the moment because I'm just adjusting. We're going back to work. So I'm trying to find a way to fit all that in and still kind of trying to think of how I can do it. But yeah, that's the main thing for me. I thought, you know, I had a lot of free time on my hands, so it seemed to be like a good option, and it's something that I thought about doing for a long time. I had a bit of encouragement from a friend who doesn't skate, but I know him really well, and he just pushed me to do it. And I thought, you know what, why not? Like, I'm not doing anything anyway at the time, so yeah.
No, it makes complete sense. Similar to the whole reason that these started. So I mean, off the back of that, the YouTube seems to be going pretty well. You know, subscribers are stacking up, and you've put out, you know, is it 5 or 6 vlogs now? Is that something you'll look to continue after the lockdown ends and the whole situation's over? Are you going to try and roll that on and make that, I don't know, really establish it?
I would like to, yeah. I would like to have time to really focus on progressing that. I think during the lockdown, I kind of just put out videos when I felt like it. I didn't really have a schedule or anything like that. But going forward, if I was really going to give it some time, I think I'd like to try and do it properly and like have a schedule and maybe get myself some better recording equipment and something to edit on properly, because I literally just throw the videos together however I can at the moment. I edit on my phone. Yeah, so it's all a bit. I haven't got a mic for my camera, stuff like that. I just like to take it like a little bit more seriously rather than like, you know, obviously it's always just having fun and that's the main thing. But yeah, I think if I was going to go forward, I'd want to like up my game a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I can preach for that as well, because this is the same. I mean, no editing really goes into these. These are candid sort of sit downs, and what you see is what you get. Just throw it up. So I mean, for me, it's been quite nice because I've got no editing skills, but at the same time, still being able to do something. So that's been good. But yeah, so I mean, like you say, you know, you've been putting out the vlogs, and I mean, have they been, like you say, you were influenced to start them by someone who doesn't rollerblade? But in rollerblading circles, is there anyone who particularly influences you to put out the vlogs? Is there anything you watch on YouTube and think, yeah, I quite fancy that?
100%. I mean, for a long time, I've been watching Ricardo Lino, and obviously he's an established rollerblader. He's been in the scene for a long time, and he's got connections to all these companies with working with, you know, Powerslide and whoever else he's been working with in the past.
Yeah.
So, you know, just by watching his videos, and I think really on the whole, there's not too much like YouTube media coming from rollerblading at the moment. There's Brandon Drummond as well from New Zealand, and there's Biz as well, who does his weekly show, and they're killing it, and it just made me really want to give it a go and see if I could, like, it just seemed like a bit of a challenge too, and I thought, why not?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, completely get that. That's in terms of YouTube influence. In terms of rollerblading influence, is there anyone now or currently? I mean, I know you've been to a few of the blading camps, so obviously I know you've got ties with certain rollerbladers who attend them. But I mean, outside of that, is there anyone who really influences you?
In terms of just my skating personally?
Just wanting to go out and rip,
always since the start, Alex Burston. Before I even knew he was local, I would watch his videos on YouTube, and Ground Control is probably the first full-length video section that I'd ever watched.
So good.
It's amazing, man, and the fact that I just stumbled across it on YouTube, like, at the time, I think me and my friends, we were, like, before I started aggressive skating, I used to go to a roller rink and just kind of, like, I didn't really know anything about aggressive skating, and then we got Ramp 1 built in my town, the indoor skate park, and then from there I started to search on YouTube for aggressive skating, and that's, like, the first thing that came up. So since the start, Alex, obviously, like, everyone says it, but Brian Aragon, I don't know, Nils.
I mean, that makes complete sense. So, like, I mean, with the likes of Nils and like Montre and everyone like that who attend the blading camp, have you got plans to go back to blading camp? I know obviously it's probably a bit up in the air at the moment in terms of when it'll next be happening. But I mean, have you heard anything from the guys in terms of when they're looking to try and start up again? Are they going to start up again? What's the plan with that?
So the situation in Spain is obviously a little bit different to how it is over here, and they're getting new information every day, the same as we are. I think the main issue at the moment is that people are coming from all over Europe, and every country is in a different situation. So obviously, all the campers will be coming from all these countries in Europe and outside of Europe as well. And if they can't get down, then you've got no campers effectively. But I think, as far as I'm aware, Josh is being quite optimistic, and he really wants to push that. If it can happen, he's going to stick to his original plans. I've actually got my deposit down for August, so fingers crossed. But you get what you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in terms of that, the trips and the travel and stuff, I know you've done bits. We've spoken before in the past about Copenhagen and other trips you've done around Europe. Is there anything you've got in the pipeline coming up, or that you'd hope to do?
I had plans before the lockdown. I was supposed to go to Copenhagen in about a week or two's time for Copenhagen Blade Days. I went last year, and it's amazing, and the Danish scene is really, really good. Really good fun to be around as well. All of them are smashing it, and it just all their events is just a great atmosphere. So and I know the Danish skaters from blading camp as well, so it all kind of ties back to blading camp. So when I go over there, I stay at my friend's house who I met at blading camp, and then through him I met more friends, and I think I went last year maybe 3 or 4 times. Nice. to Denmark generally, just different places. So it's been good fun.
I mean, it sounds it like. I know we've spoken as well about potentially going to Blading Cup if fingers crossed it still gets the nod in November.
I would like to. I've been speaking about going for a long time, so I'd definitely like to make it happen. And I think this one's supposed to be the 10th one, I think.
Okay. I didn't know that at all, but
so maybe if we do go, they'll do something big for the 10th one, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. But yeah, I mean, kind of main aim of these, other than obviously the questions I've got lined up that I wanted to discuss, is just to get a feel for how people are at the moment. So how are you in yourself? Are you coping with the situation? Are you managing and work's not an issue and stuff like that?
So I'll talk about the last 6 weeks first, because I was off and I was just at home. And it's only recent that I've gone back to work. I've only been back for about 2 weeks now. But while I was home, I've got quite a big family. So I've got 4 siblings, and I live with my mum and my stepdad as well.
Okay.
So I still live at home. So 7 of us in one house. And I'm quite lucky that we have got a big family in this time, because it's nice to be able to spend time with my family. 100%. Like I know a lot of the time, like when I'm in work, I'll just go to work and then I'll go straight to the skate park after, like most days. And it's just been nice to have a little bit extra time so that I can sit down with my family. So I think it would have been a lot harder if I didn't have a big family, like I say.
Yeah. I mean, that makes complete sense to me. We're currently in the house, is me, my wife and my 2-year-old, and it's been lovely, but at the same time I would love to see some extended family. So I can appreciate you having the extended family around you. That must be nice. But so circling back to skating in general, just like we spoke about the potential of the next UKBC meet, the Boneyard. Is there any place or event that you would like to either get going or look to get going, like places where either the meets haven't happened before, or I mean, I've got one in mind that I particularly like, but it's a hell of a travel from where we come from. So I think it's Hawks Mount, but I mean, I wouldn't be organising it, hell no. But I'd be more than up for going. It's a fair old travel. But I mean, is there any place, any skate park you haven't been to in the UK that, or that you would like to host an event at?
It's good that you say that, actually, because even with your suggestion, like with Mount Hawk, the one kind of area that I feel like we haven't really done too much in is the south. And generally, because myself and a few of the other admins are kind of based in the Midlands or north of the UK. So where events are possible is where it usually happens. And if we can't get there, then, you know, it's very difficult to kind of do an event. But I would like to kind of go down there and maybe do all them skate parks down there and host different kinds of events, because the scene seems to be quite good down there as well. And you know, we've all got friends who live down there, and it'd be cool to see them, and maybe all the northern guys could make a trip. So it's just exciting and new, and, you know, just a different part of the country that we've not tapped into yet. So obviously we'd like to cover as much as we can, really.
Absolutely. And in terms of that, you know, the whole North, Midlands, South, in terms of the UKBC side of things, do you feel like there's a divide, or is it just logistics? Is it just, there's not North, South? Is it just a case of we struggle to get one to the other, you know, because cost and travel and...
I think personally that a lot of people most of the time may only go to events that are on a Saturday or a Sunday push, and you know, they've got to travel, and they want to travel maybe even there and back in the same day. For a lot of them, if they've got like a situation where they've got to be in work the next day or something like that. So obviously the ideal situation for a lot of people is that they can get there on a Saturday and they can go straight home. And if it's more than, say, 3-hour, 4-hour drive, then a lot of people would be instantly maybe like thinking, oh, maybe not, you know. So there is that. But I think at the same time, when you look at these competitions that people have in like the US and things like that, and people are driving for like days, you know, to get to these competitions.
I mean, we do complain about certain travels, and then compared to some, it isn't much, is it really? But I suppose it's logistics, like you say. People work all week and spend time with the family at the weekend, so it does make sense. I can see both sides of the argument, but I completely agree. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Last one. I was more looking for not an inside bit of a scoop, so to speak, but I was more wondering, the UKBC, obviously you have done collaborations with Lade.
Yeah.
You've done collaborations with Loco.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything coming up? Anything to look forward to in terms of any more products, any more to obviously fund future events or?
Yeah. So at the moment, we're currently looking for companies to collaborate with. So if you're a company and you're watching this, then feel free to hit us up. We have got a few in mind, and we have been talking to a couple, but I won't mention because it's not completely sorted whether it's going to happen or not just yet. But yeah, there's definitely a couple in the pipeline that we've got our eyes on. It's just not so much set into motion just yet.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
We are also so with the Lade collaboration, the collaboration was done to make way for like 2 events. So there was the north one that we did up in Scotland at Unit 23, and the south one was meant to be at Rush Skate Park, but we got some there was like some difficulties when we were trying to organise it, so it ended up being postponed. And then it was supposed to happen this September. But obviously with the lockdown situation, it's kind of pushed everything as well. So it's just an unfortunate turn of events, really. But
so there's still a Southern event to look forward to.
There is. There will be. We've, like I say, we've still got the profits and things from the Lade collaboration in order to make that event possible. And it's just kind of making sure we see through those collaborations before we move on to anything else as well. We don't want to kind of overcomplicate things for ourselves by like having all these ties, and then we've still got the old ones to deal with as well at the same time. And shout out to Lade and the Loco Skates as well at the same time, because all the way through those collaborations they've been nothing but amazing, and especially with Loco Skates, it caught us at such a surprise because obviously Loco have been in the game for a long time, and just to collaborate with them is amazing in itself. And we never really thought like that it was going to happen, and well, at least not as early as it did. So just an awesome like achievement for us. Like,
cool. Right. Well, I mean, that wraps up all the sort of hot topics I wanted to talk about. Again, thank you for taking the time out of obviously such a busy schedule during lockdown that you, but yeah, no, cheers for coming on, man. And thanks for the insight into UKBC and yourself. So
yeah, it's not a problem, man. Hope to catch you soon, and stay safe. Everyone who's watching, stay safe. And if you somehow have watched this and you don't already, if you're not already a member of UKBC, go join the Facebook group. Go give us a follow on Instagram, and yeah.
Perfect. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
Stay safe.